following the highly successful debut at Nirox Sculpture Park, Capitec Handmade Africa is set to make its exhilarating return, but this time in the vibrant heart of the Oxford Parks Precinct in Rosebank. This highly anticipated two-day festival market promises to be a celebration of African creativity, cuisine, showcasing the rich cultural diversity and artistic talent that the continent has to offer. So this market will be a vibrant hub where local artisans, creators and food vendors come together to present the unique offerings. So to tell us a little bit more this morning, Creative Director Garreth van Niekerk joins us here in studio. Good morning, Garreth. Thanks for joining us at this hour.
Morning. Thank you so much. It's early.
It's very early, but you made it, and we're obviously delving into this offering. Talk to us about that inspiration. How would you have conceptualized all of this?
You know, I've been working in design for a really long time, and I think the more that I work with local audiences, the more I can see that there's this enormous appetite for a connection, a deeper connection with the continent and the creators of the continent. And so people are going, how do we access African goods? How do we explore the continent and the things people are making? And so we decided that we should bring it to them. And so we've been traveling across the continent from North, East, South and West Africa. We've been going to Morocco and Cairo, Kenya, Botswana, all over, and meeting really, I think, some of the most exciting and most contemporary and considered designers on the continent at the moment. And so we're bringing it all here.
Bringing it all here, how would Nirox Sculpture Park, what happened there, perhaps have influenced what you're trying to also replicate or perhaps evolve in Rosebank?
Absolutely. So we've been working with our ideas that there's audiences that we might not be able to access.
Sure.
And so we're partnering with events around the country. And Nirox was the first, and so we went to Nirox. They throw this annual festival called Good Neighbours, which is really about celebrating connections on the continent. And so we brought our goods, and they brought their music and the food and hair people, and it was really a beautiful coming together of all these different worlds.
I mean, a continent is large,
it's
right?
Large.
There's a diaspora as well.
Yeah.
So if you're going to look at selecting the vendors, perhaps also the unique experiences and offer through the artisans and the food, what went into that?
Like I said, it's hard, like you said, it's so huge.
Yeah.
So it is difficult to kind of pick out of this enormous continent who to work with. But luckily we've got, I think the design community is very, I think the one thing they love is making, but the second thing they love is sharing. And so when you go to, say, Morocco, I'm not really familiar with the design scene there, but you'll meet one designer who introduces you to another designer, and then suddenly you've met 13 of Morocco's most exciting designers, and then you manage to pack 14 suitcases full of stuff and
wow. And so if you're going to look at special features or what's going to be unique for this offering, are you able to share or divulge any of that? Absolutely. Or does it remain a surprise?
No, we were so excited. So one of the big things that we're doing is there's an amazing jewelry designer, I think in Kenya, in Nairobi, but Kenya is really, I think, the heart of jewelry design on the continent at the moment.
Okay.
So there's an amazing designer there, really an icon of Kenyan jewelry design called Adele de Jacques, and she's made the Adele de Jacques edit, which features 5 of Kenya's most exciting jewelry, fashion designers. And so we've got people like Lila Bare, we've got NYCK, which you showed a picture of earlier. There's, so that's a really exciting thing, the Adele de Jacques edit. We're also very excited to announce that one of Africa's most desirable, most fresh brands, it's called Dye Lab from Lagos in Nigeria, and we are partnering with them for the first time at Oxford Parks for a specific Dye Lab pop-up. So it's going to be the first time really that people get to access the work of this super exciting and lush
accessibility
brand.
Is important.
Yeah.
Support resources as well. So if you're going to look at Africa, Handmade Africa, the support that they've offered, perhaps even just along the value chain for artisans at large. Talk to us about that support.
Totally. It is hard for designers on the continent to access resources and access support.
Yeah.
Luckily, the audiences are super supportive, but often you don't find support from government or other bodies. And so with this idea, we've been so blessed and so lucky to have Capitec work with us and really enable this super ambitious, really big idea. And with their help, we've managed to bring all these people together really for the first time. And so we've got the support of our partner on one end, and we also have the support of the super excited South African market, which is one of the biggest buyers of luxury goods on the continent.
If you're going to think bigger, better, bolder, grandiose as well, where to from here? What do you envision for this going forward?
Our idea is really that we want to become the biggest platform for the trade and and celebration of African goods on the continent. So we'd like to see ourselves almost as the Etsy or Amazon of handcrafted, handmade goods on the continent. So we're starting quite small now with these activations, but really our big plan is to build a super powerful online store and platform that really assists designers in moving goods around the continent, because it's impossible. From shipping, from codes, from policies, it's near impossible for a business that has one person often working in the back room of their house to imagine how to get their goods from Angola to Johannesburg or to Mozambique or to a European audience that wants to access their work.
Yeah.
So we'd like to be the platform and the base for those things to become easier and simpler for those designers.
Tapping into the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that has been set up, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a noble idea, and we're looking at the strides that have been taken. What more, though, needs to be done, particularly if we're looking at supporting informal traders as well?
Yeah. Look, I think I don't know if a lot of people know, but there's these licenses that you have to take part in, and they're region specific.
Yes.
So in order for somebody to, say, ship to Angola, they need a specific Angolan license. To ship to Morocco, they need... These things aren't possible for a tiny little business to take part in. And so by creating this platform and assisting in how you can do it through one central point, we're hoping that becomes a lot easier.
If we're looking at contacting you and just getting all that information, well, what goes into that ahead of the event?
We'd like you to go to handmadeafrica.store, follow us on social media at Capitec Handmade Africa, and join us on the 29th and 30th of November at Oxford Parks and Rosebank in Johannesburg for this extraordinary two-day celebration of design and food. Oxford Parks, really, we're working with some of the continent's best restaurants, and so we'll be having, alongside our design offering, we'll be having this incredible food market where you can access fine dining, but in small street food versions. So you can eat and you can drink and you can shop, and I mean, what else do you want at the end of the year?
As we enter the Christmas period. Gareth,
Exactly.
you made it. Thank you for joining us
Thank
at this
you
hour.
so
We're going to
much.
leave the
I'll go back to
conversation
bed.
there. Creative Director Garreth van Niekerk, of course, this morning talking to us about the second installation of Capitec's Handmade Africa Market happening at Rosebank, as he mentioned, the end of November 29th and 30th.